Hello, this is Diane, and I'm here to show the second of the 1920s themed journals that I just finished creating. This one is called Speakeasy Street, and it was made with Ivy Shutter's Speakeasy Street kit. It's just a plain blue cover, but navy blue cover, which I love, and I just glued this image from the kit down onto it. I used some silver cardstock that I edge punched and tucked it in behind, and this image is backed onto blue cardstock, light blue. I've got some silver corners because the corners on this book were just a little bit bent, and it's got this really pretty, almost like an upholstery fabric, decorator fabric, I guess, that I thought went nicely with it. The feel of it looked like it could be from the 20s, and also the colors. And then I used this white and gray trim and this pretty trim on the spine. 3 signatures again, probably about 132 pages, front and back. I added this navy blue fringe with the little beads on them on the inside, so it shows out here. I love that. And this floral trim on the inside. So, like I said, most of the images in here, digital images, are from Ivy Shutter's Speakeasy Street, but there are a few extras. This is not a design team project. It's just some papers that I had from her kit. Piece of stationery that has lines on it and some floral. Ledger. Life looks beautiful on you, that stamp says. This is a pocket from the Ivy Shutter's kit. It was white, of course, back here, and I could have just inked it, but instead I cut out a piece of scrapbook paper and glued it down. And this is a lady rouging her knees from my 1920s book. Here's a copy of that postcard that was in a magazine. Appointment book page. I used my rose border punch to punch out that section there. There's a tassel stamp. This was a scrap from one of the Ivy Shutter's pages, and I turned it into a little read-it-only flip pocket there. There's some vintage lace and a graphic 45 ticket. I love this paper back here with the leopard print and the peacock feather and the bright colored bouquet. This is from the kit. It comes lengthwise, so I just cut it out in one piece and folded it over and glued it. This is from my 1920s book, an ad for hole-proof hosiery. I backed it with some blue cardstock and then used a scallop punch along the edge. And this was just cut from a sheet of cut-apart ephemera that came in one of my Stampington and Company magazines. Music paper. This is a beautiful fabric that I got in the clearance aisle at Hobby Lobby, and some vintage lace. This is, I don't know what digital Etsy shop I got that from. It's just some grungy lined paper, and then I cut this from a piece of the scrapbook paper and glued it on there just to give it a little bit of color. Another hosiery ad. I love this one. And top notes again on the ends of the threads. There's a little strip of scrapbook paper there. There's some stenciling. That's the same image that's on the cover. This pocket has my end paper, and a piece of that leopard print stitched together. And this time I folded this journaling card together and then stitched around it. There's that shoe that was in the other book. I think they all have the same stamps. They both have the same stamps, I should say. Oops, I didn't sew this one. So here's another booklet that I made with 2 more images from that 1920s book. It's got a little bit of glue there. So I'm going to stitch that together into a booklet. And then this was embossed white cardstock, and I rubbed some silver paint on it, which made it look like a white tin ceiling. And then an image from the kit. This is a ticket from Graphic 45, and I backed it with the silver cardstock. I'll remember, this goes in the white tin roof. Dapper gentleman. And a lovely lady. This is the calligraphic practice paper for practicing calligraphy. Here is a belly band made from the page from the journal that, or the 20s book, that has the words, like definitions for the words that were used in the 1920s. Speakeasy, spiffy, spifflicated means drunk, a struggle buggy. Haha, it's a car from its use as a place in which boys tried to seduce girls. There's a picture. Look at those outfits. Look at those pants. I backed it to copy dyed paper. This is a piece of stationery. This peacock pocket is from the kit, and again I just cut out some scrapbook paper to fit there. There is a leftover piece of the slang vocabulary. I did not back it with anything because you get a nice view of some of the 1920s cars back there. This is something that I got. I think it was a freebie from one of the groups that I'm in. So I just printed her out, and then I made this tag. Some blue taffeta, some pretty lace, and a picot edged ribbon up there. I added some satin ribbon down the side here. This is this printed only half of the page, so the whole half of the page, other page was white. So I just cut this out and glued it on sewed it on as a pocket. And I put this ribbon on to give it some stability here on the edge, and then added this blingy trim. And inside is an image of a girl in the 1920s. Looks like she's dancing. There's a band behind her. It might be from that other page in the other book where the people were dancing the Charleston in a contest. And on the back it has some 1920s sheet music, which I thought was fun. And then I put this large blue card with a bit of the fancy fabric and lace, and then this decoration. This is from Christie Art Design. There's a lady that I stamped and cut out and glued on. This is an envelope that goes with that stationery. I think this is from the Ivy Shutters kit. And in here is the routing request ticket, like in the other book. This is from the kit. Some fashions. An amateur artist decorates a flapper's full-length rain slicker, and comic Joe E. Lewis displays patterned golf hose, baggy knickers, and bow tie. And there is a lady. She's the daughter of the Assistant Secretary of the Treasury, stepping out of her roadster. The first time I ever heard the word roadster was when I read a Nancy Drew book. This one is bobbing her hair. Look at that long hair. She's getting it bobbed. This says, 2 young ladies display the latest in winter wear. Open galoshes and a cloche hat. Can't see the hats very well, but they were those close-fitting hats. that look like a bell jar or something like that, a bell dome, and that's why they're called cloche hats. This one has the game score sheet in it, just like the other journal did. These two are advertisement images from the 1920s book, cigarettes and Coca-Cola. To walk a mile for I'd walk a mile for a camel, but a miss is as good as a mile. This miss happens to have Camel cigarettes. Do you read your books like that? In that pose? I don't. There is a tuck spot here with a peacock and a piece of the fancy fabric behind him, and this journaling card. I hadn't tucked it in because I had just glued it on. I didn't want to get this stuck in the glue. I've done that before. Here we have some green taffeta with this picture from my book. It's backed onto white cardstock, and I put this little tag on that says life doesn't have to be perfect to be wonderful, and this little Tim Holtz butterfly. Again, I reinforced the perforated part of the tag with the washi tape. And the last signature. An ad from my book, and they had a bunch of these ads all spread out on one page, so they were kind of overlapping. So I covered up where the gap was here with this piece of vintage lace. And these are both from Christie Art Design. Where'd I go? This one has a guest check taped to the back. This is a tuck spot with image from the kit and this image that I stamped. An advertisement for Woodbury's facial soap and a tag from Christie Art Design, or a little card. A sack with a tag, which I don't know where I got it from. It's a printable. And an image from, this is from the kit. I just cut it down smaller so it would fit on the tag. Also, there was a tear on the corner of that image, so that's why I cut it down. And this is one of those free images that I had. Some taffeta, image from Christie Art Design, some vintage lace behind that, and some lace up here. I think that's vintage too. Someone sent that to me. These are Miss America contestants. Miss Philadelphia was the winner, but she's not here. It says down here in the caption that Miss Philadelphia was the winner, but I don't see her ribbon there. Now this is kind of odd. King Neptune presents Ruth Malcolmson, 1924 victor with a crown and a trophy. Look at that makeup he has on. And this is a little bit weird too. Ruth measured 34, 25, 34 and weighed a hefty 137 pounds. I don't think 137 is hefty. And there's some more of the contestants. I still don't see Miss Pittsburgh here. She must have gotten cut off. And there's another card from my book, and I glued it to some cardstock. And this is a man playing the ukulele, and a scorecard sheet for a game called Body Language. These ladies came out of my book, and again, this part of the advertisement was cut off. So I covered that up with this piece of vintage lace. There's some silk behind them and some light blue taffeta. And my image here, I added a little flower there. And then this is from the kit. So there's that one. This one is called Speakeasy Street. It will be available in my shop, which I will link below, tomorrow, Tuesday, April 9th at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I hope you'll come over to my shop and check it out, see what else is there. I've been listing a lot of things, and if I can put everything together into one package, if everything will fit into one package, I combine the shipping and give you a refund on whatever you paid extra. I'm going to sew this together right now and get it in the book, and these will be ready to go tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.